estateWholeSalersClub.com, where we're all about helping you. That's right, we're helping you. And I know you hear that a lot in this world. But if you can get rid of the, what do they call it? Cynic, being a cynic about it because you've been burned before. If you can get over that, then trust us just for the next little while and let us visit with you, because we really want to help you get to that first deal shut up money. That's that first deal paycheck. You know, that first deal that changes the paradigm for you, it changes everything for you. And it allows you to have options. Options. Wouldn't it be nice to have a few options in life? Talking about options, what about lease options? We talk about lease options a lot here. We talk about being a creative real estate investor here. We talk a lot about consistency and routine here, because you're probably the sum total of everything that you think, say, and do. That's what the teachers would tell us, the gurus and coaches. You're the sum total of everything you think, say, and do. And so if you're not cashing real estate checks, if you're not getting real estate deals, if you're not building your portfolio or building your wholesaling business or whatever your goal is, it's really probably not an education problem. It's probably not, because we spent so much time, all of us, you, me, everybody else, we're all the same. We spent a lot of time on YouTube University, going to YouTube University. YouTube University. Everybody knows what that is. That's when you sit there on the couch or in your favorite chair and you click the clicker. Okay. I watch mine on Roku. Dude, I put almost 40 hours last week into Roku YouTube. According to the app, almost 40 hours. So that's a long time to watch YouTube. But can you imagine how much information the sponge between my ears soaked up during that time frame? A bunch. And I learned a lot. And so, you know, you're no different. I'm just like you. We all have spent time at YouTube University, probably more than we actually spent at real university. If they could have somehow put real university on YouTube, I would have done a lot better, evidently. Because I didn't do too great at university. I didn't even go. I didn't even make it. They turned me down. And then I went to community college, because that's where you go when one, you don't have any money and you don't have any good grades. Okay, so so I went to community college because I was going to work my way up to university, and then I was like, you know what, forget it. I'm going to start a family. I'm going to do the whole thing then, and you know, I don't have time for this. Just put it on YouTube for me. Just put it on YouTube. Okay. Well, we all got that education. We've all sat at YouTube University, and we all know more than you can shake a stick at when it comes to real estate. Now, I know there's things you don't understand about it, and I know there's questions that you still have. I didn't say we all know everything there is to know about real estate. I don't know if anybody does that, but I do know that what you do know is a lot more than the average guy or gal, because you spend a lot of time watching me, other people, Brent Daniels. I watch him. I watch a lot of guys. Yeah. So, Brent Daniels, I was saying the other day, I was watching one of his videos, and I said to my wife, I said, you know, why is his left arm on swole? That dude is, I'm like, man, that guy spends a lot of time at the gym or something. So I need to come up a little bit, but education's not the issue. Consistency usually is the issue for us. So getting consistent, getting on a routine. What if I said getting on a ritual? On a ritual. That's what I have. I have a ritual. Every Sunday, I scrape Zillow or Craigslist. And then on Monday, I hit target numbers. I scrape a certain amount of numbers. Okay. If you're getting started, it's 500 to 1,000. Then on Monday, what I do is I set up a text blast. Okay. From those scrapings that I did on Sunday. So on Monday, I've got a text blast that I'm setting up, but I don't set it up to go out on Monday because I'm kind of lazy. Because I like to have a light Sunday because it's the Lord's day, it's family day. And then also Monday, I kind of like to have a light day. So I set up a text blast on Monday, but it's not set up to go out until Thursday at 3 p.m. And then I have the rest of Monday off. And then Tuesday, I kind of have a follow-up day where I can make some follow-up calls or try to close somebody from last week, or I can go to lunch with my wife, or, me and my wife, we have this tradition, and we don't always do it. We have Cupcake Tuesday. Cupcake Tuesday. Has anybody ever heard of Cupcake Tuesday? Can you guess what happens on Tuesday with Cupcake Tuesday? Anybody?
Get down on some cupcakes.
You got it, dude. You got it, dude. We go find a cupcake place, and it's not like a normal cupcake like you would bake at home. I'm talking about like a gourmet cupcake. Like this is huge. It's a huge cupcake, and it's got stuff in. It's got goo in it. You know what I mean? It's got goo in it, and you break into it, or you take a big bite, and it's all over your face, and you got sugary goo running down your chin. But man, it's so good. All you need now is like a Coke or a Sprite. Now you know why I'm 25 pounds too damn heavy. Okay. Some habits like that. So we have Cupcake Tuesday. It's a light day. And Wednesday, kind of have a light day too. I do some one-on-one coaching and work on some video stuff for my social media and things like that for my business. But it's kind of a light day on Wednesday. Then Thursday, I have my text blast set up from Monday to go out at 3:00. At 3:00 on Thursday. It's nothing magical about that time. It's just my ritual. It's just what I like to do. I like to work on the phones on Thursday, doing a pre-qualification call. I have a virtual assistant that does that. Okay. That virtual assistant will take the leads that come in after 3:00 and start calling and doing a pre-qualification. Now that's just a script. It's just a script. Okay. Virtual assistant is not some super talented superhuman. It's just a virtual assistant. Oh, he's good, but he's just a virtual assistant. He makes pre-qualification calls. Pre-qualification call sounds like this. Hi, I'm Justin. My boss, Nicholas, is a real estate investor and he buys properties in the area. And I was calling because we saw a property and we sent a message out a few minutes ago. And you replied back, oh, that does ring a bell with you. See, we just sent them a text message at 3:00. So at 3:00, that text message goes out. This call starts happening. So, Mr. Homeowner, here's the first question that is on the pre-qualification script. Mr. Homeowner, is there a situation going on with you and the property that we can help you with? That's it. That's it. Sometimes they say, oh, no, we don't have a situation. Okay. That's okay. This is a pre-qualification call. Nobody's trying to close anybody here. So the next question. Okay, Mr. Homeowner, what's the best outcome for this phone call? By the end, what would you like to see happen most? Okay, that's it. Usually we hear some answer like, well, I mean, you called me. I mean, are you interested in buying a house? Because I'd like to sell it. I mean, I guess you buying a house from me. Okay, great. Because we would like to buy your house. So let me ask you a few more questions, and then we'll see where we can go from there. This is what the VA is saying. So the VA just continues down the script, just polite and courteous. That's all. Gets to the end. The end sounds something like this: how much are you asking for the property? The guy puts the price out there. VA writes it down. Okay. Can you do any better than that? That's another question on the script. And he writes down the answer. Okay. By the end of all these questions, you should have a clear picture of the situation of that homeowner. You should have a pretty clear image of their motivation level. Okay. By the time they've answered, a dozen questions or so, maybe not even that many. And so at the end, the virtual assistant says this: now, like I said, Mr. Homeowner, my boss buys properties in the area. I think he's really interested in this one. He had asked me to call you. You've been very nice in answering my questions. Is there a good time here in the next couple hours that my boss could call you and talk about making that offer? Okay. Now, see, my team says the next couple hours because that's when we're available. We're available like that because we have a plan, and we know that on Thursdays we're going to be working the phones. I had Monday kind of light, Tuesday kind of light, Wednesday kind of light. Now I'm back to the phones on Thursday. So Thursday late afternoon, Thursday evening, Justin is busy. But it's okay because it's just for 2-3 hours. We're going to be doing some pre-qualification calls. When we get done with the pre-qualification calls, we're going to have some that are just simply unmotivated. We're also going to have some that are somewhat motivated, but we just don't think they're closable today. They just put their house on Zillow yesterday, and they're ready to hold the course for the next 60 days. Okay. That's not someone we're going to close tonight. So we might want to follow up with them, though, because there is some motivation factors there. They're just not ripe enough to fall off the tree. We can't call them low-hanging fruit just yet. So we put them on a follow-up list. So we throw away the ones that suck. We put the follow-ups that are kind of they're motivated, but they're not closable today. So we'll put them on a follow-up list. And then we also have some that are motivated. They're a 6 through 10 on a 1 to 10 scale. They said, yeah, you can, if your boss wants to call me back and make an offer in the next couple hours, that'd be fine. I'll be home. Those are the ones we call and we try to close. And we're looking for low-hanging fruit. Justin, do you close all of those? Of course not. Of course not. If we closed every one of those, this would be so incredibly easy and so incredibly fast, it would take only seconds every week. But it's not that easy. It's simple, but it's not that easy. So how many do we close? It's a good question. We usually close 1 out of every 30 leads that come back. Okay. We'll usually have about 2 or 3 good conversations out of those 30 leads. We'll close 1. Sometimes not even that. Okay. Sometimes it's 50 leads that come in. That's why Justin tries to get 100 leads every single week. Okay. Because I know that this is a bit of a numbers game. This is a bit of a numbers game, and I know I have to have a certain amount of leads. And if I have a certain amount of leads, if I have a plethora, if I have a plethora, do you know what a plethora is?
It's a sweater.
It's a sweater, senor. Right? That movie, The Three Amigos, it's a classic. You got to go watch it if you haven't seen The Three Amigos. I don't think a plethora is what you think it is. If you have a plethora of leads, then in that number of leads, there is a certain number of motivated sellers, typically on average. And out of those number of motivated sellers, there is a percentage that will do business with you. It's that simple. So the routine of hitting target numbers, that's it. The routine of hitting target numbers. I have that routine going. It took a long time to figure that out. Okay. It took a long time to figure me out. So don't feel guilty. Don't feel bad if you struggle a little bit with this, if you have a hard time with it, because you're not alone. Not alone. I've been there. You're there. Your partner over here in the room is there. We've all experienced this. So the best thing you can do is go to Trello.com or Evernote or your Google Calendar or whatever your favorite task scheduler, or you might say, well, Justin, I don't even have one. Okay. Then let me share this with you. If you don't organize your day, if you don't organize your life, then guess what happens? Your life will be organized for you. And everybody knows that you're not going to like the plan that life plans for you. So go there, get Trello. I use Trello. It's free. You can use Evernote. You can use a calendar and schedule. Put it on there. Put it on there. Write down a few goals if you want, put a pretty flower background on it, whatever you need to do. Maybe some majestic ass mountains, put it on there. On Sunday, I do a scrape. Or you might say on Sunday, I go to PropStream and I download a bunch of data. And then I have it order skip trace. Okay, maybe that's your technique. That's okay too. Put it on the schedule. If it's not on the schedule, something else will hop in there. And y'all know that's true. See, if you don't have something on the schedule for Tuesday, then you end up going and having cupcakes. Because that's what you should do. You should have cupcakes on Tuesday. Put that on the calendar too. That's important. Okay. But start planning a ritual for yourself. A ritual that produces the leads. A ritual that produces the results. Okay. Because right now, the ritual that you have is not necessarily leading you in that direction. Okay, probably. This is huge, guys. And it's so dumb that it's so simple. And yet we all struggle with this. And really, when you boil it down, it's personal discipline and consistency and just a few little tricks of the trade. I don't know one single productive, wealthy person that doesn't do what we're talking about. Okay. I read Think and Grow Rich a while back, many times, and it talks about writing things down and repeating things to yourself, goals and things like this. There's more to it than that. If you don't break it down to a daily habit, guess what? It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I want to say welcome to everybody that's watching out there. We've got Curtis and Damon and Dion and Edward and Jerry and LaShonda and Mag and Mark and Middleton REI and Nick and Rick and Sandra and Sean and we got a lot of folks here today, and I love each and every one of you. God bless you. Thank you for being here. Nicholas Nick is here. Nicholas Nick, are you able to turn your camera on, man? Let me see. You sent me a message here. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I see where you're at. All right, Nicholas. Nicholas Nick. Does anybody remember Nicholas Nick from a few weeks ago? Absolutely. Lead Mining Pros. I wanted to bring Nicholas Nick on today because last time we were together here on the Shut Up Money Show, he was dynamite, y'all. Okay. And I know a lot of folks are out there in the real estate business trying to get on with generating leads, to get deals, to make money. And it's like, okay, well, I have to wear a number of hats, y'all. I got to wear a scraping hat. I've got to wear the hat that picks the markets. I got to wear the hat that does the, all of the lead gen. Then I have to switch hats to maybe a pre-qualification call. And then I have to switch hats again to like a closing call and be the closer guy. And then I get to switch hats again and do dispositions. But, so a lot of that seems a little overwhelming for me, Justin. What do I do? My answer is usually, well, you need to begin thinking about outsourcing this stuff. Okay, find you a virtual assistant or somebody that can do this for you, or a partner or something, and put that skill and that talent to work and doing the tasks that you suck at or you don't like. Okay, well, here's the facts though. The facts are that if you go hire a virtual assistant to do this, you're going to spend money. But if you hire lead mining pros to do it, you're spending about the same kind of money and you're getting really, really, really good results. Okay, because Nicholas Nick has done like over 3 million phone calls, he and his team. So it's not like hiring somebody off Upwork from Bangladesh. Nicholas Nick, you're muted, man. I can't hear you, dude. It's so awesome to see you here. Welcome. Lead Mining Pros.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, thank you so much, dude. And thanks for that introduction. Last time I was here, I had such a blast. Your audience was amazing. A lot of people reached out. I had great conversations, picked up a couple of great clients. It was awesome. It was very cool to riff with you guys. And it's so crazy to think like after 3 years, there's like a whole audience and group of people that have, never seen me, met me, or heard of me before. And that kind of goes into what you're saying. That's like marketing.
Yeah.
Right. We have big marketing, and we realize that, I feel like I've done such a good job. I feel like I've created so much awareness, but then you run into like 200 people who've never heard of you before. And you're like, man, I thought my marketing was really good.
Yeah. There's just an endless amount of people, man.
Yeah. Yeah. You cannot think scarcity when it comes to marketing. That is for sure.
Oh, absolutely. That's so true. I have people ask me, they're like, hey, as far as picking market areas, I don't want to pick a market where there's a lot of competition and so on and so forth. And, I'm not scared of competition. Are you, Nicholas?
I am not scared of competition. I enjoy competition, but I would be lying if I said I wasn't scared of competition when I was new. Okay. Mm-hmm. When competition came out and I was only on month 6, of this business, and I found out a really close friend of mine like blocked me on Facebook and created a duplicate company and like all this weird stuff, like that really hurt me,
Yeah.
And now it wasn't scarcity, like he's going to steal my customers. That was never a concern, But at the same time, I almost didn't have at the time the right confidence, or maybe enough confidence in my business or myself to overcome some of those emotions.
So what? So Nick from leadminingpros.com, tell us what made the difference for you, man. I mean, because look at you now, 3 million plus calls deep, a lead generation for real estate expert, where like everybody else around here, myself included, we look like chumps, man. I mean, what made the shift from you going from zero to hero? I mean, how did you start getting comfortable with the phone?
I didn't have any other fucking choice. If I could be 100% honest with you, I had absolutely no choice but to get comfortable with the phone, and I really had to. I just left my executive career, and I was just beginning a new phase in life, and I was like, what am I going to do next? What am I going to do? What is next for Nicholas? I was a restaurant manager for 16 years. I was a high level executive for another 3 years, and none of that worked out. And I was like, I got to do me this time. And I began cold calling, not because I wanted to, but because I absolutely had to.
Yeah. There's a lot of people out there that feel that exact same feeling. I have to do this. I have to do this. But yet they haven't started yet.
I'm so glad we're talking about this, Justin.
Kick some ass here, man. You got to kick some ass now, Nicholas.
Dude, dude, I literally had this conversation with myself this morning. And, because I can fall back into a rut, but, I most commonly see it in the people around me. I have people around me working 9-to-5s, telling me they're going to quit, telling me they're going to be self-employed in 11 months and they're going to do this shit. Well, I've also sat down with these people, laid out action plans, told them how to accomplish it. If you want to quit your 9-to-5 in 6 to 10 months, you need to work 80 hours a week right fucking now, starting this fucking second. Okay? Like it is not going to be like, well, maybe if I can squeeze in an hour on Sundays, I can change my life. Like that's not going to do it. I talked to my girl, and here's my attitude. Like, here's how I do it. My girl just asked me this question. She goes, Nick, I get used to watching you play so hard. I forget how hard you worked to get here. Because I'm nearly retired now. I welcome all phone calls. So one thing I will say is, if anyone's watching me on here, call me. My number's on the website, and mention this podcast, so Justin gets credit. Mention that, you saw me here, and but you guys, you're welcome to call my cell phone, and I share that with you because that's the only job I have left in my company, and that's to answer my phone when it rings. And I can answer it while I'm on the road, like I am right now. I can answer it while I'm at the house on the kayak. And it's a way for me to like always be available. But, how did I get there? And the truth is, I like you. People talk about other people's money. I'm sure we've heard of that.
Yeah. Okay? OPM. Opium.
Yeah. You know what? Opium. You know what I like? OPT. Okay, I like other people's time. All right. And so what I do is, when I was coming up in this world and I was on my way to work, I'm listening to audiobooks. And while I'm at work, I'm doing research about my personal projects. And I'm cramming in as much fucking time. Yeah, I may be working 8 hours a day, but I'm putting in 16 hours inside of those 8 hours. I am like, fuck it. My job's already paying me to sit in front of a computer. Not only am I going to get my work done, I'm going to get my work done too. The work that's going to allow me to pursue my dreams and my life.
Yeah.
And I try to cram as much focus and attention while someone else is paying me. Because if I can do that, especially as a 9 to 5er, I can not only get better at my job because I have to now, because I have to get better at my 9 to 5, because I got to get it done in 6 hours a day so I can focus on my own shit for 4 hours a day. And so, one thing I recommend everyone do out there is start to figure out where you can cram your time together.
I did that too. I had a job working for a guy, and he was an alcoholic. Don't know if he still is, but real problems with alcohol. And he would go away for lunch. He would take what we used to call what do they call those people that work just during the summer from school? Interns. We used to call it taking an intern lunch.
Okay.
And that's like a 2.5 hour lunch. He would take an intern lunch every day. And so I was like, you know what? I know this is probably wrong, but I'm going to bust ass right now on real estate the whole time. And I did that every day for months and months and months. Is that what you're talking about, Nick?
Yeah. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Like, you got to do this stuff on other people's time, And right now, if you're getting paid or you're doing something else, you're on other people's time. Use it to your advantage, and then you can bust out, and then you can be so productive at work that you can afford to spend 3 hours in the afternoon focusing on your business. When I was a career employee, I actually went to my boss and I said, look, this is when I worked when I was an executive. I went to him and I said, look, allow me to work from home and cut my pay by 50%, and I will still get every current responsibility done every week, no questions asked. Wow. Don't think about hours. Yeah. Don't think about any of that. Just allow me to get all my same responsibilities done to the same level, cut my pay, and send me home. And You know what? He said yes.
Huh.
He said yes.
Wow.
And I went from working 40 hours a week, making $70,000 a year, to working about 6-7 hours a week and making $35,000 a year. So, because I was able to systematize my position and get it done faster, and now I'm released from the responsibilities of the office. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, the office, you have to work 40 hours a week because you're a leader. At the home, it's about getting the job done, not about the politics.
Right. You waste so much time on the clock, right? Being at the job 8 hours and 45 minutes into it, you've pretty much cleared up your list of shit that needs to happen today. And you got 7 hours and 15 minutes to kill.
Yeah, exactly.
That may not be everybody's story, but that sure has been mine in a few cases, in a few jobs I've had, and Nicholas too. And so, if that's your situation out there, like, you definitely have to take advantage of that for sure.
Yeah. Multiplying your efforts, is the real first step, I think, to getting out of that, getting into the world that actually allows you to pursue your dreams. I can't even tell you guys how, lucky I feel and blessed I am. And, and then I see people around me who say they want it, but, they're just constantly pursuing other stuff. And, and there's nothing wrong with that. I have no judgment there, but be careful on what you say you want and what you actually show you want. Right. I've got I had a friend the other day making an amazing post about about not wanting to be divorced. And he said, right now I'm studying philosophies, astrology, astronauts, this, that, and this, but I'm not studying on how to be a better husband. I'm not studying on how to be a better father. Yeah. And so, we got to be careful of this personal development trap, okay? Yeah. Sometimes we think we're just learning, but you know what? You ain't doing shit. and you ain't learning shit because you're not doing shit, you know.
Right.
And you've got to really get that into action. And you know, one of my favorite quotes is, "To learn and not to do is not to learn."
Wow.
You
Yeah.
know, and
Yeah.
and so, you know, if we're like absorbing all this stuff, and we got to watch our personal development, make sure it doesn't take us down a rabbit hole. You know,
Right.
I can tell you the way my life has unfolded. You know, I think, you know, I've been lucky. I got a lot of money before I fixed all my personal problems. But then the money, one thing I will say, money doesn't solve your problems, but it can be a facilitator of solutions quicker. You know what I
Oh yeah.
mean? And so, you know, my first goal was leadership management. Then I got lucky. I went into business. I ended up making a lot of money. And then I realized I had like all these other issues, and I'm able to like fast forward those solutions because I
Yeah.
kind of like focused money and leadership first.
Golly, man, I could visit with you for weeks on, and I think you and me we just keep going at it, man. Pursuit. You said something about pursuing your goals, being in a world where you can pursue your dreams.
Yeah.
And I heard a guy say this 20 years ago, and it was like a fiery arrow that just stuck in my heart, really. He said, pursuit is the proof of desire. And he was talking
Mm-hmm.
about
Wow.
not just not just love, not just your relationship with your spouse or
Right.
partner, but that too. Pursuit is the proof of your desire. And believe me, guys, she knows that shit. Okay? You might not know that, but she knows that your pursuit of her is proof of your desire for her. The same is true in this universe. In my experience, like I love how Nicholas just said that when he said that how my life has unfolded. I can tell you, yeah, how my life has unfolded too. I can tell you that I can agree with him and concur that the universe works like this. That your pursuit of your dreams is proof of that desire. And a lot of us say we want things, but there's just no pursuit there, guys. You can't prove it. You
Right.
can't prove a damn thing, right? Man, that's tough. That's a tough pill to swallow,
Yeah.
but I think it's one we have to swallow for sure.
Yeah. Well, you know, and I think real estate investors actually have it the best. And I'll share that with you because the model is so proven. You know, I think, you know, it's all about grace in the beginning to really get through. First of all, 9 to 5s aren't all bad. You know, 9 to 5s, you're actually learning skills again on someone else's time and someone else's dime. So, you know, my suggestion is if you're working a 9 to 5, make sure you're working in some type of relative field and you're getting some type of relative skill that you feel like would actually serve you as an entrepreneur if you want to be one. If you're there, then you're automatically should never be frustrated with where you are because you're in a learning phase, you
That's
know.
so
Uh,
true.
you know, it's like, and if we can calm down that super desire to leave and really enjoy the experience that we're receiving, you know, then we will really be ready. Like if like you mentioned, unfolded my life, I look back and I was on an accidental boot camp training ground
Right.
to be exactly where I'm at today. Every
Yeah.
moment of my life I was
Yeah.
like, holy shit! It was like a training. Like, I mean, fucking, you know, Mind Valley couldn't create a better
Yeah.
course
Yeah.
to to do, you know, what the way it's unfolded.
Yeah.
And so, you know, it's you really got to enjoy the experience. You know, one thing I mentioned to a client of mine, and this might resonate, you know, is he called me up and he goes, Nick, man, I just want to get on your level, dude. And you know, right now I'm failing at work. My wife's mad at me. My daughter hates me. You know, and the entrepreneur thing's not working out. And I said, brother, how the hell are you supposed to become an entrepreneur if every other thing in your life is falling apart? How is that supposed to happen? And I was like, how are you supposed to get to the next level when you haven't beat your current level?
You haven't beat boss number 1 on level 1,
Yes.
and you're trying to beat boss number 8.
Right. While still fighting bosses 1 through 7, because you haven't beat any of them. Right.
Yeah.
And, and I love video games, which that's about to come out in the next couple of sentences. But, we realized, you know what I told this man? I said, dude, focus on the love of your wife and the love of your child. Get them to love you. Go to work every day in your 9 to 5 and be the best fucking employee they have ever seen in their lives.
Yes.
Okay. And then after 1 year of that, now you say to yourself, I am ready to become an entrepreneur. Okay. You cannot advance if you do not beat the bosses. There is no cheat codes. There is no advancing.
Wow.
If you have a difficult boss, yeah, bro. If you have a difficult boss, check this out, Justin. If you have a difficult boss or a difficult situation and you just quit, that is literally coming up against a boss fight and refusing to learn how to beat it.
Yeah.
And saying, you know what, I'm going to quit. My boss is difficult. You know what? If you don't learn that skill, you're just going to come up against that difficult boss again.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
In your next job,
Yeah. Yeah, the universe will keep sending you that same test until you pass it, right?
Yeah, exactly. It will show up in different, uglier ways. And you won't even know. You won't even know it's the same lesson. It's the same fundamental lesson that you are trying to run away from. And one thing I did, dude, I worked for the worst fucking bosses. I've been written up for doing cocaine when I've never even done cocaine. I've been suspended for shit. I've had people steal my stuff at work, and then I got threatened to get fired because it was stolen. Okay? Like, okay, that's a real story. Okay. Yeah. And it's like, I've had the worst bosses. As a result, I am an amazing boss. I can't look back and go, man, that one boss, he mistreated me so bad. I'm never going to get over it ever for the rest of my life. No, fuck that guy. You know what? That guy ran a record store. Okay. That guy is nothing. Yeah. I should not make his actions mean anything to me longer than the 10-minute window I had to sit through the write-up anyways, okay? Yeah. And it's like, what we do is we make these things mean something monumentally. Oh, yeah. These people are just lost and confused people too. We need to learn from them, make sure we never make anyone feel like that, okay? And move the hell on.
Yeah. Yeah, I got fired one time. This guy was a real piece of work, and I've been fired a lot too. But one time in particular, it bothered me a little bit every time, for a few minutes at least. But this time in particular, it kind of bothered me. I was trying to do good. I was really working hard for this guy, and some bullshit happened. Somebody said something about me, and next thing you know, I'm getting fired. And about a month later, I was on an airplane to Florida, and I saw that guy when we were boarding the plane. I saw that guy and his manager lady getting on the plane, and I looked at him and I was like, these people look absolutely fucking miserable. Mm-hmm. And here I am no longer a part of that misery. Yeah. It was so freeing for me, man. Yeah. So I know we could talk like this for days. Let me do something here real quick, if you don't mind, Nicholas. Sure. And I want to share screens, and I want to show Lead Mining Pros. Tell us a little bit real quick about Lead Mining Pros, because we've been talking about everything except that, man. So what's Lead Mining Pros going to do for us? And I'm gonna show the website here a little bit, and just tell us a little more and tell us how to get there. It's leadminingpros.com, right? Oh, he might have froze up there. He might have froze up. It is leadminingpros.com. This is Nick, his company, his team. They do produce leads. They are in the lead generation business. If you are not into cold calling, that's okay. Nicholas is. Okay. If you're not into doing managed SMS text blasts or skip tracing or pulling data or any of that, it's okay if you're not into that, because Nicholas is. Okay. So I want you to see these prices too while we're here. I'm going to click the pricing at the top and slide down here, and you can see the prices. Somebody was like, oh, 940. There you go. There's the other shoe drop. No, not really, because look at what you're getting in return. And I can tell you from my experience as a real estate wholesaler that if you're generating leads using a team of your own, you're spending this shit already. You're spending this right here already, and you're not getting the quality that you would get here. Okay. If you have a full team doing this, I guarantee you're spending at least $20, $25 a lead, because that's what it costs to generate leads typically. And so some of these, now this is for American dialers too, American callers, but they also have Filipino callers, and you can see the price difference. All right. And they also put on here what it will generate, typically 4 to 12 leads for this particular purchase of $375 cold calling campaign. Okay. That's no contracts or commitments, none of that stuff. All this stuff here you see here. Also, let me show you real quick about the website. If you go up here to message us, oh, I'm sorry, it's free script right here. Free script. Guys, this shit right here ain't no joke. Okay. I went and got this myself, and I have it now in a folder that I call the secret marketing folder. And what I got that folder for is I'm going to go through and take Nick's script. I know he's listening to me. He's probably going to spank me after this, but I'm going to take his script, and I'm going to take my script, and I'm going to take the best shit out of Nick's script, and I'm going to modify my script, because I'm learning things just off this script. Okay. And some of you out there might not even have a script for your pre-qualification or for your lead gen or your VA or whatever system or process you're working. You might not even have a script. Well, now you do. So, and it's good stuff. Good stuff. Tell us about Lead Mining Pros, Nicholas, now that you're back.
Yeah, absolutely. Justin, you're the man, dude. Like you're awesome. Can you guys hear me?
Oh yeah, we hear you fine, man. Thank you. You can talk like that all you want.
No, dude, you're great. You are so amazing at rolling with the punches. Of course, right when you asked me to say great things about my company, I don't even know what even happened. But dude, thank you. Anyways, guys, thank you so much. First, and great memory, Justin. I can tell that you really understand our service extremely well, and that's awesome. Guys, what I really seek to create here, my job where I was an executive, it was actually at a real estate education company, and their purpose was to educate people how to do wholesaling, how to invest, stuff like that, all kinds of cool stuff. And one thing I learned was that cold calling was just really missing from this campaign. And it was just absolutely crazy how much it would have changed these people's lives. So I seek to create an all-inclusive service where we do the training, we offer the dialer, we do the text messaging, we do it all for you. You guys don't even have to think about it. And my true belief is if you were to compile all of these things on your own, your cost would be greater than that. So, Justin was talking about the 940 dial package for a dollar package, for example, and that is the biggest one on there. So, and I've got a lot. They get as low as 60. But on the 940 dial package, you get 2,200 or 1,500 records pulled and skip traced. okay, 2,000 American cold calls, and 1,000 lead conversation texted. So like every phone number you get, not only do we text blast them, but we have the entire conversation for you and just send you the whole lead. So to get 1,500 records even skip traced through something like batch or something like that at 15 to 17 cents, I mean, you're already looking at like a couple $100. It already starts to add up.
Yeah.
Hiring a virtual assistant and then managing their performance, that can be difficult, especially if
Oh
you
yeah.
aren't a master of the activity yourself. One benefit we bring is experience. Not only does my team have, the average employee's been with us for 2 years right now. So not only has that been happening, but we also have the training, the systems, the experience, the quality assurance, we call it, where one of my managers just works for 35 hours a week, and her sole job is to listen to call recordings, listen to live calls, and really make sure that everyone's doing what they're supposed to.
Yeah. Yeah. Professional grade cold calling.
Yeah.
And if you choose American cold callers, or they are from the United States, right? Some the
Yeah.
American speaking
Yeah. Yeah. So all
Western
the
Hemisphere.
yeah, the ones labeled Americans, thank you for asking for clarification, are Americans living in America. I pay them all. I pay my team $15 to $20 an hour, the Americans. So I expect a lot out of them. These aren't like just people who happen to be I don't have the Americans living in Mexico, how some competitors claim. I actually offer Americans living here in America with us, um, and then I offer Filipinos who speak great English that live in the Philippines. So you can actually pick, whichever works for your budgets, all the way as low as $60 on the Filipino cold calls, and they do an amazing job, and all the way up to the 941 that we were doing. And there's no contracts, no commitments. You can call me, and I really recommend everyone call me directly. I don't just drop nuggets because Justin asked me on. The other day, I taught one of my customers how to get an ARV and an MAO. I mean, it was like a 45-minute call. But, I'm literally here to see your guys' success. So, my cell phone number is actually on the website. Call me up. Tell me you saw me on on Justin's podcast, Shut Up Money. And then and let's have a talk. Even if you don't become a customer, maybe you have questions about real estate, about what we do. You just want to meet me personally. Do not hesitate. I'm told that's why the number's on the website.
Man, are you on one of those glidey? What do they call
Escalator.
it? Yeah, you've got escalator track in your house. You're just going around.
Yeah,
I saw a painting, piece of art there in your house, and
yeah,
I swear I have that same one, man. It's the one with the windows. It looks like it's opening
yeah,
up.
yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. In the back. Yeah, check out some of the stuff. I have
Uh,
murals in my house. I just got these murals done the other day too. It's
nice,
super cool. But yeah,
nice. Oh,
yeah.
I'm sorry I talked. Go ahead, say something so it'll switch back to you.
Oh no, you're good. You're good. I just wanted to show you guys some of this cool stuff I got out here. Look at this crazy stuff. Been lucky. I made good friends with an artist,
That's
and
cool.
yeah, and he
That's
crushes
beautiful.
it. But yeah, anyone can reach out. I'm totally here. There's a lot to offer on my website too, so I can really help you digest it. You can tell me what you're looking for. I can tell you what that would look like. Whole nine yards.
Nick, we got questions in the YouTube, and if you're in the Zoom room here, you want to be in the Zoom room, you can be. It's www.zoomjustin.com. I forgot to say that earlier. Password is money if it asks for one. zoomjustin.com, password money. If you want to come in the Zoom room, if you don't, you can put a question in the chat. If you're in the Zoom room already, you can put questions in the chat. You can speak up. You can ask questions. Let's do Q&A time. I do have a question to start off with. Can you, Nick, have the callers that you use a script for lease options or a script that the client investor would prefer?
So yes, to answer your question now, we absolutely can do that. We also have a slew of scripts as well. You know, we've been open for 3 years, so we've definitely done a lot of different stuff. I'm not afraid of doing something new. One thing I do say is if you're just calling for a distressed property, I think the free script Justin linked you guys to, I mean, I, I I don't think any changes need to be made for that if you are just looking for a distressed seller. If you're getting special, like you were saying, lease options, FISBOs, a different type of lead, a new type of approach, totally send over a script, we can do it. But if you're just calling a homeowner, asking them if they've ever considered selling, and then want to go, a regular script covers every base. There's no doubt about it. But you can customize it with unique approaches or unique strategies. So if you're like not looking for a distressed property and you're looking for a lease option or owner finance.
If we hand you a script or email you a script and you open it up and you're like, ooh, this is goofy. This is a goofy idea. And I don't think this is going to work as good as they think it might. Will you let us know that? Will you tell us that? Or will you let us just learn it the hard way?
Oh, trust me, no one learns anything the hard way because then they're just going to get mad at me. Right. So one thing I do is I really review everything. I will rewrite 90% of the scripts we get. I rewrite. People tend to think like they need to say a paragraph before the other person talks.
Yeah.
And you know, the truth is that you really just need to go in there, ask little questions, get little answers, and build rapport as you go, instead of like throwing up all over them. So normally I edit all of the scripts to make sure that it is as lead mining effective as possible, if you will.
Yeah, absolutely. That's good. That's good. Some more questions here. When it says number of calls on your website on the options,
Yeah.
when it says number of calls, does that mean answered calls or is that including voicemails, or can you explain further?
Okay, so I believe, yes. So the dials, each dial is an attempt. Okay, so you know, if it is disconnected, that does count. However, we never call them again. You know, so we make sure to disregard those numbers. My system also has like a disconnected scan that it does. So if any known disconnected numbers are on there, it automatically scrubs them out. So we don't waste your money or time. It's very important.
Okay.
Um, yeah.
So this is just the, so you're just doing possible scrape, possible data, possible skip trace, all available. And it's a pre-qualification call, not a closing call. You don't do the closing calls. That is where the investor comes in, puts on the cape, and becomes a superhero. Is that right?
Exactly. My job, I say, is to do two things. That's build rapport and gather information. Now, we do ask 12 questions, which I can cover really quickly right here if everyone wants to hear that. It's my vision, and I will cover those shortly. It's my vision that those 12 questions allow you to set up anything that you want. You know, a lot of people go, well, could you ask this question too? And I said, well, you know, I could ask every question if you want me to, but you need something to talk about when you call them, you know. And it's like, you know, I get it. You want us to do everything or whatever it might be. But the truth is, just like, you know, if someone sets you up on a blind date, you know, they're setting you up on a date, not themselves. And so I'm here to like get you guys in the door, and then you have to come in, create a strategy, and go for it. Now, what I recommend everyone does is call the seller immediately and focus on three main questions. If they answered all 12 of mine or most of them, okay, I recommend you ask them these three questions. Okay.
Okay.
What do they want to do with the money? How much money is actually needed to do that? And finally, dive in deeper to why they want to sell. Okay.
That's
These
it.
three, if they answer all mine about the property, that's all you need, because those are deal structuring questions. Okay.
Yes.
Someone says, man, I want that new Cybertruck, but I want to pay cash. Okay. Don't forget, these people, this is their second or third home. These are these goals of these people. You don't have to be hurting to sell your property at a good price. They could have had it for 75 years, want the Cybertruck, damn thing needs a new roof, needs new plumbing, needs new this. Maybe they just want to get rid of it with a little come up. So hey, this is what I want. I need $50,000, but I owe 100,000. Okay, so if you're telling me I gave you 150, you're now more keen on, so, oh yeah, 150, yeah, gets me what I want, gets the bank what they want. Now we're no longer talking. This is interesting, because what this does is it shifts the conversation. We're no longer talking about the property. We're now talking about their goals.
Yeah.
Right?
Their needs and greeds.
Yes, and everyone wants to complete their goals, and
Yeah.
then if you can get them focused on what's next, you're really on a good thing. So we asked 12 questions, which I'll cover here in a second. Then you follow up, ask those three. Dive deeper into why they want to sell. What do they want to do with the money? How much money is that actually going to take? And you'll understand their qualifications. If those questions don't get answered, guess what? They're probably not the right lead for you.
Yeah. Exactly.
So it's a quick qualifying round. So we pre-qualify with our 12 questions, and then you guys go in, and I recommend asking those 3 questions to actually qualify the lead. If it's good, then put it in your CRM and then move forward from there. Now I'll do the 12 questions quickly. I'm sure we got more questions, but I'll do the 12 questions quickly, and that is,
Somebody might want to write this down if you got a pad and paper, or a pad of paper and a pencil, but you might not really need to, because Nick already knows these, so you could just go have him do it for you.
well, that's true. But these are also on the script as well.
Okay.
That you guys can download off the site. But yeah, so those 12 questions are: any general repairs needed on the house? How old is the roof? When's the last time it was remodeled? What's the reason for selling? Is there a tenant in the property? I'm normally really good about these. It's the live video question. Is there a tenant in the property? What's your reason for selling? If we made a cash offer in the next 48 hours, how much would work for you? What's your current timeline to sell? Is there a good email address for you? Is there a better phone number for you? When's the best time for my partner to reach back out to you? Thank you so much for your time. I'm going to get this over to my partner, Justin. He's going to give you a call in the next 24 hours, and he's probably going to want to come out and see the house. And that's how we wrap that up. And that's why I recommend you call with those 3 questions right after that.
Nice. There you go. There you go, guys. There's your business formula right there for your entire marketing. Incredible. Incredible that it's so simple and profound. And I would guess that we started out talking the hour here about how education is not generally the problem for us, because we're typically overeducated at YouTube University. We just lack in the consistency of a ritual, or doing of the thing,
Yeah.
And that right there, the simplicity of what needs to happen is really just that. It's very simple. Those questions, very simple. And if a homeowner answers those questions, you should be able to mentally look at that lead and put them on a scale of 1 to 10 motivation. Either this guy's motivated and he's got a cash offer that's reduced and he wants it in the next 48 hours, or he's open to something else, or he's not. Is that right, Nicholas?
Yeah, exactly. Or he goes into your follow-up system. I mean, you're here checking temperatures, and for a lot of people, they just want the hot leads. But that will allow you to file them accordingly.
Yeah.
And then your next system is, we all know what to do with the hot lead, right?
Oh yeah.
So we don't need any help there. But what do we do with the warm leads? So the next recommendation is, now it's your job to create follow-up systems and create what happens when they're not ready. Okay. I had one customer, is a true story. She got 7 leads in 1 week. I think it was for $200. She got 7 leads. She called me up and yelled at me because none of the leads were the exact kind of leads that she was looking for. I mean, I get it. I understand, Justin. I want to make $10,000 tomorrow too. Okay. I really do. But this lady, she goes, no, but she goes, everyone wants to sell in the future. This one wants to sell in 2 months. This one wants to sell in 3 months. This one wants to sell in 6 months. And I said, you know who else wants them to sell in 2 and 3 and 6 months? You do. Okay. I said, so, I understand that, they weren't, but it was like week 1, like they weren't as hot as you thought that they would be, but that is cold calling. Cold calling is the systematized process. It is, these people, they're just sitting at home in their underwear watching Charles in Charge, like they're not thinking about selling out. So we're planting the seed. It's our job to follow up with them. But there's some benefits, right? They haven't spoke to a realtor yet. They haven't had someone tell them that their home is worth way more than it's actually worth. And so there's huge benefits also. A lot of these people that respond to your marketing, they may have responded to other people's marketing before you. Okay, which means they could have skewed perspectives. Whenever we're cold calling, we have the opportunity to get in there before anyone convolutes any of the information for us.
So if I want to go to Lead Mining Pros and somebody asks this question, and I want you to call 500 of a 1,500 batch on a weekly basis.
Yeah,
Could you set up a program with somebody where your team is just doing 500 a week?
Yes. So what we do have that package individually, but I also allow you to buy one of the bigger ones because they're cheaper. Okay. Buy one of the bigger ones, save some money, and then disperse it over a week-to-week period. So you could buy the 3,000 dial package, save as much money as possible, and then disperse it over a 6-week period, which would then, drastically reduce your cost if you were to do it just week to week.
Yeah. Excellent. Excellent. Is there any questions in the Zoom room here? Anybody? We've got a great group here of folks gathered together, a lot watching on YouTube and a lot here in the Zoom room. If you're in the Zoom room, I want to say special thank you to you for being here, being present. Are there any questions from any folks here in the Zoom room? Anything, Nicholas, Nick, lead generation expert, cold calling assassin, anything?
Hey, Nick.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, this is Rick from California. How you doing, man?
I'm good, Rick.
Hey, how do you track like callbacks that come in, like let's say a week or so after the fact? If you're calling out on certain numbers, then are you tracking the incoming at a later time, or how does that work?
So what we do is a gift and a curse, I imagine, depending on your strategies. But we put your outbound phone number on our caller ID. So you actually get all of the callbacks. However, what we do is we do call everyone who doesn't answer up to 3 times as well. So, I don't want to say the callback's not important. It is important. Captive audience is always important. But if you answer the phone and you blow the call or you make a mistake, you also don't have to be super mad because we're just going to call back probably within 48 hours anyways, and then give it another attempt.
Gotcha. Cool. Thanks for sharing, man. Appreciate your time today.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you, Rick.
Good question, Rick from California. Any other questions?
Yeah, guys, ask anything you want to. Trust me, I've normally heard them all, so I am I am ready to go. You know, we do this 3 years, and I'm the only person who runs phone customer support for this company. So, you know, I have, and you know, and that's also a good thing as the owner. All the feedback, all the advice, all of the script
Yes.
recommendations. You
Yes.
know, it all goes through me, the person who controls the company, and it's been highly beneficial to have that level of involvement.
Question here. What's your personal recommendation if you had to choose one for beginners as far as all the different programs and packages and solutions that you offer?
My recommendation is always do what you can sustain the longest. Okay, I'm not the kind of sales guy that says go out there and buy that $940 one, and yeah, let's do that every week until your funds run out, and then everything will be all right. You know, the real truth is buy the smallest package if that's how your budget works. If you've got money saved up, it might be smart to buy the smallest package to start, see if you like the service, and then buy the larger package to save some money and split it up. Would probably be, you know, my professional recommendation, but I really recommend starting small. The downside of starting small is this is a numbers game. So if you start small and you spend $60, no leads shouldn't be the biggest surprise ever. I mean, it was $60. It's like a scratch off ticket, you know. Now, now,
Okay.
you know, and I'm just being honest, right? We have to, like, this is a numbers game. You know, I love that I have that package, but it's the smallest number and the least producing, you know. So I really recommend starting around a 500 dial a week budget, even if you do that like every other week. That's really important, that difference of 500 dials from 250. 500 dials still really isn't that much, but it is a great start. You know, I have clients on 3,000 dials a week on retainer. I do have 4 clients who've been with me for over 3 years that are all just 500 dial a week clients. We're just a constant system
Hmm.
rolling in the background for them.
Smart.
And yeah, yeah, it's a great use of marketing dollars. You get 2 leads a week, and you know, I try to remind people. I know we want to spend 120, 200, 500, and make 10,000. But you know, I do try to remind people, like, you know, if you spend 3,000 and made 10 to 20,000, that's still absolutely amazing, you know. And so, you know, really to think of the numbers. You know, you're not selling like a $200 t-shirt. You know, if you spent 120 bucks and you were selling a t-shirt for 200 bucks, you know, making only $80 might be a bummer, right? But you know, you've got the potential here to make, I'd say, a minimum of 3 and a maximum of 35,000, let's say, on average or something. So you know, you've really got some leeway. And the coolest thing about my service is you get me. You know, just like this call, you get my cell phone. You can call me and go, Nick, I just got this lead. I don't know what to do. What should I do, Nick? I got you. I'm going to tell you what to do. I'm going to tell you what to do next. We're not going to talk about it for an hour. I'm going to warn you. I think advice is pretty simple. You know, talking about it isn't doing it. Hey, call them and say this. Good luck. Click, right? You know, but I am still absolutely here for you, and I'll answer any question. So one cool thing that I don't really bring up a lot is when you hire my services, you really get me as, whether you want to call it a coach, a mentor, a friend, a business partner, because we are in this together. But you know, you get me on your team.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's awesome. There's nothing like it. I've been doing real estate, wholesaling, investing, that stuff since 2001. And I have never, ever, ever seen anything like this. This is good. This is good stuff. I've seen VAs. I've seen cold callers. I've seen scripts, but I've never seen anybody with 3 million plus dials under their belt and willing to partner up with an investor in a local market and just beat the shit out of it.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
It's incredible. So, any other questions? Any other questions here in the chat room before we call it a day. It's been awesome having Nicholas Nick, leadminingpros.com. Go check it out. If you have a question, feel free to speak up now. Or go ahead.
Justin, are you saying, what is it, Lead Money Pros? Is that what you're saying?
Lead mining.
Mining, okay.
MINING. So if you're in the metal, if you're a metallurgist, it looks like lead mining.
Yeah, I'll put it in the chat too.
Yes, leadminingpros.com.
Yeah, and remember to mention Justin as well. Especially if you guys call or even in an email, just so we know, where we got you from.
Check it out, guys and gals out there. Everybody check it out. Leadminingpros.com. The packages are affordable. They're competitive with what you'll be spending if you develop a team to do this. Okay. They really are. I've put a pencil to it. Okay. They are competitive on price, and you don't have the headaches of having to have and manage your own lead gen team. Okay. Yeah. So it's a solution for you that you really ought to consider. If not now, as your business starts to develop, you should definitely consider it. But even now, there are packages, like you said, that are affordable. Plug in, do it every week, do it every month, and just let the system do what the system does best.
Yeah. All you have to do is really make sure you follow up with every lead. You got a really easy job. A lot of my clients, they start to get lazy because I make leads easy. Okay. And actually, if you mix leads and easy, it kind of equals lazy. All right. But so you have to be very mindful of what happens. Well, this one doesn't look hot enough, or I don't know if I should follow up with this one. They didn't say they were willing to take half as much for the house. Yeah. Well, now like you have to step in. Okay. This is where you show up, and you have to have strategies and follow-up techniques and psychological advances, if you will, to really get them to understand that, they have to sell their house at a discount, that you're the best choice. I mean, that's really what this is all about, So my recommendation to every client is don't get lazy, follow up with every lead. Doesn't matter what the notes say. Call the lead, ask the questions, and then decide what you want to do with it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm going to throw this out there. I don't ever do this, but I've got a course that I put together for closers. It's called Mastering the Phone to Get Property Deals 2.0. And this might pick up where Nicholas Nick leaves off a little, because he's lead gen, but the closing is up to you guys. So anybody out there listening today, if you go to Real Estate Wholesalers Club, you shoot me a message or you contact me, I'll give you that course today absolutely free. Okay. I normally sell it for $100, but I'm just going to give it away today. I just feel like doing that. So you could get the script, you could get the services from Lead Mining Pros, you could get the course on how to close these and get to work. All right, guys. That's really what it's about. Get to work. None of this shit does any good. I've got the same experience as Nicholas Nick does at Lead Mining Pros. I tell people all the time, generate leads, then do a pre-qualification call, and then call up and close them. Okay. Or go advance into closing them. Maybe you need to go out there. Maybe it's a virtual deal. I don't know, but that's the steps. Okay. And then I watch people generate leads or pay for a team, a VA, to generate leads. And then they set this stack of leads right there on the desk, and they look at it.
Yeah. Right. Happens all the time.
Yeah. It's insane. So if you're out there and you want this education, it's all available to you. Let us know. If there are no more questions, we'll call it a wrap for today. Thank you for being a part of the Shut Up Money Show. This is something we do every single Saturday, and you can check out more about us at realestatewholesalersclub.com. Like and subscribe at our YouTube channel and our various platforms. We want you to be a part of this. This is about you. This is about your questions and your needs and your goals and your desires, helping you. I'm going to use Nicholas Nick's words here, put you into a world where you can chase your dreams. Okay.
Absolutely.
Where you can chase your dreams. Right now, some of us are out there and we couldn't tell the boss to shut up if we had to. Can't tell the wife to shut up. Can't tell the bills to shut up. Can't tell the kids to shut up. We are just getting walked on everywhere because we're living life like a bunch of damn losers. Okay. Well, you don't have to. You can get that shut up money, get a little confidence and a little bit of hope back in your life. All right. So that's what we're about here. We love you guys. We appreciate you. Nicholas Nick, Lead Mining Pros. You got the last 60 seconds, sir.
Guys, thank you so much for having me. I'm so glad to be here. Just remember that actually taking action is the best experience you're ever going to get. You're going to learn what to do, what not to do, how to do it, how not to do it. You're going to be able to learn so much more than just watching the next video. Pick up the phone and start dialing. You have to take action. That's all I
Absolutely.
got.
Absolutely. Nicholas Nick, Lead Mining Pros. Hey, love you, dude. God bless
Thank
you.
you.
Have a blessed rest of your weekend, sir. And that goes for everybody else out there. Thank you. We love you too. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And remember, stay safe out there, everybody. Okay. It's important. Stay safe. And we'll see you again next week.
All right. Awesome. See you
Bye,
guys.
everybody.